Good evening, traders. Today is Thursday, January 5th, 5:31 p.m. Central Time. Markets have been closed now for a while. So, which one of you bears took the bait that I warned you of in the morning not to do? Which one of you could not resist that filet mignon? As you saw the markets going down, going beneath the hive channel bottom, only to flip back on you and reverse it back up top. But in the afternoon, the markets retested those lows, even though the VIX was down. So it was not a sell-off. So what do you think is happening? What do you think is going on? And why is it, do you think, that I said in the morning, in this morning's episode right here, it was bear bait? What made me say that? What made me think, I think this is a bear trap? It's because the market showed strength yesterday and showed strength coming into this morning's session before the ADP employment numbers results came out. And during the day, as you see in that big green candle here, that was a sign of strength. Okay? Let me get into some more details. This attempt to reclaim the SMA 20, simple moving average 20 line, 6 times, actually 7 times today, is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength. And I'm going to show you some slides where in the past, when the market makers intended for you to go down, you might make 1, at most 2 attempts at the SMA, and then you're going to keep falling. Today it made 7. Okay? This slide is from this morning. Actually, I did not present it to you because I took this slide an hour before those employment numbers came out this morning. Okay? This is the 1 day. You see how the MACD was about to curl up on the 1 day. RSI 66. The MACD on the 4 hour here, going up, separating. RSI 70. The MACD on the 1 hour, above 0, separated from the green signal line. RSI 66. And on the 5 minute, RSI was 64, above 0, and going up. Notice no bearish divergence here. That is higher than that is higher than that, equal to what the price is doing. Because you guys know me, this whole week, when I told you about those 2 head fakes, I said, that's head fake, and then I did head fake 2. A couple days later, that's another head fake, because I saw bearish divergence in the MACDs the morning of, to call those head fakes. There is no bearish divergence as of this morning. And that is consistent with yesterday when I made a big deal that it retook the EMA, the 5 minute EMA 50. It took it. And then it took the 4 hour EMA 50. That's strength. Okay? So when I saw this morning, all of this in total, in cumulative sum this morning, and then I saw the market go down from the results of the report, I was like, no. And it being that close to the hive channel bottom, I was like, nope, this is a bear trap. So that did come to pass because it surged on the bears, right? Boom, move up. And it stayed up there for a good hour or so. But then I think they just did a garden variety retest. They'd like to just retest the lows again. It wasn't a sell-off, because I'll show you in a subsequent slide, the VIX was actually down the rest of the afternoon. The VIX did not spike, so it wasn't a sell-off. It was just a garden variety test back down, retest the lows. Okay? So, if you want to know if the market's really intended for us to go down today, we need to look at history. FOMC 1214. Yes, 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 yes. Remember that date? Remember that infamous date? And remember what the markets did after that? Boom, 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 boom. Okay? So, in this example, when the markets intend for you to go down, history shows you make one attempt towards the SMA, and then you keep falling. And then towards the end of the day, in the last hour, which I've said in previous episodes, don't ever trust the last hour. That's bull. It's BS. It's just, oh, surge up, and then it's going to fall the next day. Okay? So, in this case, it didn't even attempt to touch the SMA 20 all day, except for the last hour. Okay? In this case, does a head fake. Okay? Does a head fake, but then it doesn't even bother trying to touch the SMA all day, except for the last hour. Okay? Morning time on this day, does a head fake, touches it once, and then it falls the rest of the day, and then touches it again in the final hour. Okay? So these are examples of what I'm telling you is showing you is if the market intends for you to go down, you will not you, SPY will not even make more than 2 attempts at the SMA to reclaim it. Okay? 1227 makes 1 attempt to touch it, 2 attempts, and then towards the end of the day. Keep in mind though, this is 1227. This is almost 2 weeks after it started falling. Okay? So, but even then, you only do what? Well, I'll count that 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we'll call it 5 times. But this is 2 weeks after falling, though. You still can't reclaim it. Okay? But then what happens the next day? Oh no, head fake. Head fake. You only tried once. And then you kept falling. Okay? So, that brings us to today. How many times do we try? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7th time, surge. So based on history, that is not a sign of weakness. Because historically, you will not try that many times. Okay? So there's your little rocket ship of what happened. So, history tells you that if the market makers intended for us to go down, they would not do this. There's no precedence for 7 attempts, and on the 7th attempt, you surge up. Okay? So, this is just a quick recap. As you see here, look at the MACD making bullish divergence, higher low throughout the whole day, even though making 1 bottom, 2 bottoms, 3 bottoms, 4 bottoms, higher lows the whole day. Okay? Now, just call your attention to, notice, so this first gray line is the 4-hour SMA 20, which I have labeled way over here to the left. This is the 4-hour SMA 20. This is the 6-hour SMA 20. This is the 1-hour EMA 50. Look how it perfectly traverses these levels. You could just see it getting rejected real time. That's what I was doing. I was watching. I'm like, oh yeah, I see what you're doing there. See that? Rejected, rejected. Come up. This is now resistance. Come down. Try to come up. Take that. Come up to the next level. Get rejected up there. See? It was like, wow. It's like you could just watch a mouse in the maze where you already know what the path is. You know what I mean? So, okay, that's all I wanted to show you about that. About today's slide, 5-minute slide. 1-hour slide. Okay, let's go back in history. This is what I want you to look for tonight. Futures. Okay, so please don't ask me what I think futures is going to do. I'm only going to show you what futures has done in the past that suggests it will do this tomorrow. Okay? but I'm not going to predict what futures is going to do. Okay? In the past, on 11/10 on the 11/10 CPI for the month of October, but it was reported out on 11/10. At 4 p.m., futures was 37.56. At 7 a.m. the next day, it was just 37.65. That's not a lot. Futures floated. It just floated. So did the MACD. It just floated up. It wasn't like, oh, huge. It wasn't anything like this, right? It was just floating. The MACD was just modest, kind of cruising up. It wasn't like showing huge green peaks like this. No, it was just kind of modest. Okay? That was after a higher low compared to this. This was the FOMC sell-off. And then the markets came up, surged up, which I know its intention was to actually just make the MACD come up, make a higher low. That's all it's intended to do. And then float up and then surge when CPI came out. That's when everybody, including me, because I was looking at now I call the stupid Cleveland Fed's nowcast inflation forecast. I'm like, okay, I trust you. You're the Fed. I trust you. You were way off. Like, way off. CPI came in 50% of what the Cleveland Fed projected. Okay? But yet the whole time, what I'm telling you is the markets already knew what was coming. They were showing this pattern. I'm going to show you another one. They're showing it time and time again. It's just a nice little float, and then boom. Okay? So here's 11:30. This is when Jay Powell actually spoke. What did futures do the night before Jay Powell spoke? Once again, just kind of floated up. So did the MACD. Look at the RSI, not getting crazy in the green, just kind of just staying incognito, right? Not doing all this green stuff. So it wasn't a lot of crazy, like here's a good example. It wasn't a lot of this. Up, down, up. See, this was during extended hours, right? Because there was no trading right there. Right? It's just a mild float. Okay? And then what happened the next day? Kaboom. Okay? 39.62 at 4 p.m. Next morning, 39.68. Okay. That's not bad, especially when you chop off the last fourth digit. It's just 396. 396. Okay? Nothing special there. Right? 1213 CPI. This one on the MACD was more of, yet again, a float. Float up. Mild float up. Mild float. See that? Mild float. Mild float. Mild float. But then in the wee hours of the morning, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., it's really started going up. Okay? But for the most of the night, it was just a mild float. All right? So yeah, it wasn't a lot like this. Down, up, not like that. Okay? So, once again, RSI, yeah, see, nothing remarkable, nothing special. But it wasn't doing this. You start seeing this on RSI tonight, like, ooh, that's bad. That's a bad sign. Because what you want to see is a mild float up. Okay? That brings us to the one I took this screenshot, a few moments ago, just before starting this. Ha ha ha. SPY extended hours is now reclaiming the EMA 50. Look at the MACD going up. It's now pretty much past the zero line. So this is what I'm talking about when you're talking about just a mild float. I mean, this is so far. I mean, don't think that I'm projecting into like 3 hours from now. I have no idea. I'm just telling you what's happening right now as I took this screenshot. See that? 30 minutes starting to curl up. And the next goal is to just kind of keep heading towards the zero line. Okay? Look at the 1 hour starting to flatten out. Gonna head back to the zero line. Okay? Look at the RSI in the 30 minute. Note that after it did its initial surge, even though it came back down and touched and actually went below the channel bottom again, double bottomed, RSI never went below that 30 line. That's not bearish. Okay? Same like the hourly. Never went below that 30 line, even though it came back and retested. In fact, it made higher lows right there. Okay? So here's the 1-day futures. That's the MACD. That is clearly a higher low than, all the way down here. But notice that, it's kind of flattening out. RSI, mid-range. 4-hour. Although it's coming down, it's not coming down like at a steep angle like this. You know what I mean? Or, steep angle like this. It's flattish down. It's flattish down. That's not bearish. Because remember the number I always tell you guys, you're bearish when you get in the negative 35. And it is nowhere near that. It is close to the 0 line. It is nowhere near the negative 35 number. Okay? So basically, and look at this. 4-hour. That's higher lows on the RSI. On the 4-hour. See, that's clearly a lower low, slightly lower low, but still real close to the 0 line. And as you just saw a few moments ago, if you keep staying above it, that the 1 hour is going to start to flatten out. Then the 4 hour is going to start to flatten out. You're already seeing some bullish divergence right here. Even though the 4 hour is going down, that is making a higher low. That's bullish. Okay? So my point of showing you this is, it's not that I know what tomorrow's non-farm payrolls is. That's not the point I'm making at all. My point is, the markets are positioning themselves and are revealing their intentions in the MACD and the RSI. That's all I'm telling you. They're positioning themselves in a certain way that they can't hide it. But don't confuse that with asking me to project, well, what is the MACD going to do for the rest of the night? I don't know. I'm only showing you what I see right now. Okay? I don't know what they're going to do. But what I'm showing you right now is, this is not positioning yourself to fall. You're so close to the 0 line. You're not anywhere close to the negative 35 line. You see what I mean? So that's all my point is. I'm not seeing indications, and nor did I see it this morning before the numbers came out, that we were going to fall. In fact, I was like, oh, we're going up. See? And it showed flashes of power today during the day after 7 attempts. That's never been done before if it was really falling. If it was really meant to fall, it's not going to try 7 times to reclaim the SMA 20. And then it just, boom, surged up. It's never done that. No. If it was meant to fall, it is not going to give you that huge green surge like that. No way. No. So there's still some power there, is what I'm trying to say. You saw it today, right? You didn't see, like I showed you on those 12-14 slides, it for 2 weeks we're just falling. So, okay. This is just the 1 hour slide. Futures were up slightly. Hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully we don't see some crazy surges, crazy ups, crazy downs, crazy ups, crazy downs, like a wave, a water wave, or like a tidal wave. That's not good. That's not good. Okay? But yeah, starting to curl up, and it made a higher low. If this really starts to curl up, that's what I'm saying. That's not bearish. You're not making lower lows. You're making higher lows. Okay? So, RSI mid-range right now. I took this screenshot a few moments ago, 616. Okay? So, there's that, guys. And what do we have? Oh, this is VIX. So despite the market in the afternoon, right, making that double bottom after it surged and bear trapped the bears, look what the VIX did. No, I don't think so. I'm coming down to VIX could not eclipsed the 0 line after that. And the RSI, oh no. What happened there? So that's all I'm saying. That the afternoon move back down to retest the lows for the markets was not a sell-off, as you see right here. That's what not a sell-off. It was a garden variety retest. They just want to retest it. It was not a sell-off. Okay. Oh, and this one is just meant to show you. I've drawn in. I showed you this morning. I've drawn in these these lines here, 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 right? And this is just meant to show you that I circled all the contact points on each different line, so you can clearly see. Oh, yeah. Basically, you can anticipate peaks and troughs by drawing these 8 lines out. Okay. So, so if you want to notice something in peculiar, okay, notice how this peak right here goes to this line, second to the last line until you get to the top, right? That peak, that trough goes to the second to the last line before you go to the bottom. That peak is at the top of the channel. That trough is at the bottom of the channel. You start to see something? You know, that got to the second line. I guess this one, well, it can't see it to the end of the screen. I think it ended up going all the way to the bottom. Okay, so just interesting to note that. I'm not suggesting that it always follows that pattern, but it's just interesting to note. Okay, yeah, and that's basically all I've got for you guys today. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter, where I do real-time tweets throughout the day. And please give this video a like, share, subscribe, or click to be notified when I release something new. With that, I'm Agent 00 Woe signing off. Good luck tomorrow. I'm not trading futures, but we'll see.